What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I got another review video, this time on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection from Hasbro, and this is the Pink Ranger. Now I did do a video already on the Green Ranger and of course the White Ranger, and finally this arrived. I had this on pre-order from Walmart, and they finally got stocked up and they sent it over to me via mail. And so my goal is, of course, to collect the original Power Rangers. I think they're going to go through all the different series of Power Rangers, which is really cool. But, for me, just watching the original show, I just really want to collect the original Power Rangers. And so here we have the Pink Ranger, and this is really cool because she does have her bow, she has an arrow, and I think there's a special effect kind of arrow. I think you can see it right here in the corner. She does have a blaster. I know Tommy via the Green Ranger or the White Ranger did not have his blaster, so for sure the original Power Rangers did have blasters, so that's kind of cool. And then of course there's the alternate head there, which is kind of like without the helmet. Really cool. And so on the box you got a continuation art of the Pink Ranger back there, and of course on the back you always get that pose, and there's the Pink Ranger with the bow or blaster in the holster, and then of course that's the special effect that she comes with, which is arrow right there. So that's really cool. And on the other side you do have another nice picture of the Pink Ranger and everything like that. So yeah, I know some online retail stores have this, coming out in October and stuff like that, but Walmart and Target are already releasing this. So if you guys are trying to pick this up, I would check out your local Target or Walmart store. But let's go ahead, open up this box, and then check out this figure. Alright guys, so there she is out of the box, and I brought out the White Ranger and of course the Green Ranger to kind of compare on sizes. And of course she is a little bit smaller, which is a good thing that they're not using the same body type for all the Power Rangers. But there she is. She's got her bow, she's got that special effect kind of arrow, and then of course she has her accessories. So let me just show you the other accessories before I bring her up. But so you do get one arrow, just a regular arrow, which is really nice. It's kind of like a translucent gray, so really good. And of course it's a soft plastic, so no biggie. So that is cool. You do have her blaster, which is really done nicely. I think they were just all red, and I think that'll be really cool if all the Power Rangers came with their own blasters, because I think they did in the show. And of course there's a little bit of metallic, but that's pretty much it. So but really good details of the mode there, so it looks really good. And then of course she does have two extra hands, so she has two special hands right now for holding the bow and then of course the arrow. And then she does have one closed fist hand right here. You could change it out. And then of course you do have like a kind of like a karate chop hand right there. And then of course she does have, like, they're all going to come with their alternate head. So here's one where she's without the helmet. So I think it's done really nicely. The paint's good. The scope is the scope of the head is really nicely done. I don't know what's going on with that chin there. And I think the smile is not too bad. I mean, I like it. The teeth, the lips and everything, it looks really, really good. It kind of looks like she's forcing the smile. I don't know if they just couldn't do it. I don't know if it maybe make it a little bit more natural, but that's just my opinion. But it looks good overall though, so really nicely done on that. Now for the Pink Ranger here, so let me go ahead and take out the arrow and then of course the bow here. And so let me show you the bow. So the bow really is just on one side. I guess this is the side where you want to display it. Okay, so it's all white, and then you got some red right there. And on the other side there's not really too much going on, but you do have these kind of like little brackets here. So you got two at the bottom and then two at the top. And I'm assuming, because obviously these don't have instructions, so I'm assuming that when you want to place the arrow, whatever, you could use these to kind of get it fitted against the bow. So if you want to have it high or low, excuse me, or you wanted to have it high. So I'm assuming that's the way it is, but when you're displaying it, I guess this is the only side for display, which is kind of a bummer. Now this arrow is done really nicely. I mean, I'm digging that neon pink color to it. It looks really cool. It's got the residual like effect of the arrow, so you can see the fins there, and then of course the head of the arrow. So it is done really nice, and then it's like a lightning, and then it comes all the way to the back. So I mean, compared to the regular arrow, I mean, that's really nice. So there it is. That's how long it is. So that's really cool. Now what's interesting about the Pink Ranger here is that she does have one hand, which would be her left hand, to hold the bow. So there's kind of like it's a more open hand right there. It does have a swivel, so you could bring it really close or out. Now this other hand here with the finger pointed out, there's a gap right there. You can kind of see like a little V gap, and so I'm assuming that this is how you place the arrow. So you see the arrow at the end has a little peg there, and so you would just kind of like peg it right there, or I guess if you wanted to peg it more, but I mean, that's not how you shoot, you know, obviously that's not how you shoot an arrow. So I guess you would just peg it back here. Now it doesn't really hold it that well, so I'm assuming that that's where these little brackets come in place and just hold it so to keep it straight. So very interesting, but I guess there's only really one way to hold it, because the bow would be facing out this way, so you can only, you know, face her this way shooting the bow and arrow, which it is kind of a bummer because this is only one-sided, but I guess that was the way to do it. But overall, I think the Pink Ranger came out really good. She's got a nice bright pink color to her. Just the outfit's just like in the show. She's got a little morpher right there, so that's really nice. Good details too, because I mean, you got that metallic, and then you have the ring where the coin goes in, the little slot there, it's red, and then of course you got the power coin. She does have a holster there for the pistol or the blaster, and it fits really nice, and it's snug too. It is a soft plastic, so it's really good, and it fits nicely there. This is of course attached to the waist. Now I mean, everything else is done really nice. There's no, I don't see really much of a paint error. I think just right here, just minor, but everything else, I think it came out really good. The backside's really nicely done. This is a soft plastic, but it doesn't really do anything. It's all attached. So, but really nicely done. She does have good movement. She kind of has a nice joint there at the shoulder, so she could bring her arms kind of really close, or she could kind of, you know, spread them out a little bit. She does have one joint at the elbow, so she does have one joint at the elbow, and then of course she has a swivel there at the elbow. Now this hand's a little bit interesting because it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of more it's just like static. It doesn't really move in or out. Now this hand does, like I showed you earlier, so you could do that, but this one, really the one that holds the arrow, you can't. Now I'm assuming that this hand right here that holds the bow is the same one that you're going to use to hold the blaster, so it kind of fits perfect right there. Yeah, so that's really nice, and she holds it really nice and straight, and it's nice and firm. It's not loose. I don't think you could really do it with the other hand because it just doesn't. I guess you can. It just, yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, it works. It works. I guess you could use either hand, so it works. Down, you know, at the waist, she could arch her back, but then the problem is you do get a gap, and the guys over there don't really have that problem. I don't know what's going on. I think it's because it's two pieces and she's a little bit smaller, where these guys have three pieces on their right here at the waist. So I think that's one thing right there. And then of course if she does an ab crunch, there's a little gap right there in the back, but not really a big deal. The legs are really good. She could kind of do the splits there. She could kick her legs that high, so not too high, and then she does have a top kind of like upper thigh swivel there, and then of course at the knee she does have a double joint at the knee, and then here she has another joint at the ankle, which is really nice because you could really flex that you know, that foot out. So it's really nice, so you could get some really good poses with that. But I think overall it's really good, and like I said, you know, I really do want to collect the you know, the original Power Rangers. So I think this is considered the second wave. I think that's what it's. I think this is the second wave where the Pink Ranger came in, and so right now I haven't really heard anything about the third wave. You know, if any other original Power Rangers are going to be coming out. I know Hasbro with this Lightning collection, they're going to be kind of pushing out all the figures from all different Power Ranger series. So that's kind of cool, but like I said, my goal is just to get the original Power Rangers. So, you know, I still missing the yellow Power Ranger, the black, the blue, the red, and I think that's it. So it's 4 more to go, and then of course, you know, I already got these guys right here. So if I hear anything, or you know, if there's any news that come out, I usually post it on my Facebook page. You know, anytime anything goes on pre-order or there's any new news about action figures. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.